Rocksteady Studios, the developer behind the Batman Arkham games, has been quiet for way too long. That's why a lot of people are starting to ask, what are they working on? And over the last year or two, we've had a lot of evidence starting to stack up that it could possibly be a Superman game. Now, we're going to begin back in September of 2016, where Dax Ginn, a producer on Batman Arkham VR, spoke to Eurogamer and confirmed our suspicions about the Arkham franchise, saying the following: "I think there's a little bit of sadness on the team. It feels like breaking up. The mood is really split. There is a feeling in the office like it's definitely time to do something else. We all accept that. But we all knew Batman so well. We all feel comfortable in the Arkhamverse." Ginn goes on to add, "We're in a very enviable position where we have some time and space to decide what we're doing next. We can sit back and think what our dream game would be, and we have Warner Brothers support to do that." Rocksteady's creative director Sefton Hill months later in December of 2016 did an AMA on Reddit in which he was asked about what's next, and his response was, quote unquote, "We're very hard at work on our next project, but we won't be releasing details for a while. When we do, you guys will be the first to hear, as we want the community involved heavily in what we do next." Now, go to January of 2016, a Reddit post caught the attention of many as the user claims to be a disgruntled WB Montreal employee. This user went on to make a ton of claims about Rocksteady's next game, which is all laid out in the following post. The user, going by the Leakwin, I guess that's what he's called, says, "Violating my NDA as a way to stick it to WB Montreal and the way that WB has treated this company. As a result, I have to be careful about what I say and don't say. I figure that I can say quite a bit and still remain anonymous, but I can't say anything or phrase things in a way to incriminate myself or give away what area of the game I'm working on. As for what Rocksteady is working on, they started working on a Superman game, but have run into many issues. Superman had to be depowered for part of the game, and even at maximum strength, they had him be much weaker than he normally is. There are skins that make him unstoppable in the game. The plot saw him face off against magical foes as well as familiar faces like Lex Luthor and Metallo, which would utilize kryptonite. There was also a challenge mode much like in the Arkham games. The plan was to announce this Superman game at the Video Game Awards last year, but that fell apart. The coolest part about this project are the collectible skins. Each skin determines his moveset and his weaknesses. The more powerful incarnations of Superman are harder to obtain, obviously. All the movie incarnations of Superman are in, as well as many of the comic versions. You can also play as Cyborg Superman, Zod, and even Nuclear Man from the god-awful Superman 4 film, which is an Easter egg skin. So if you're skeptical about this leak, well, you should be. This post has since taken the internet by storm, with tons of websites reporting this as fact. Now, real Reddit leaks are not uncommon. It was recently found that another upcoming game, Red Dead Redemption 2, had a huge leak posted years ago. No one thought it was real, especially since the user was named Red Dead Insider, but this leak was proven correct, as Red Dead Redemption 2's second trailer directly aligns with the contents of that leak that was posted years ago. My point is that Reddit is usually filled with tons of fake leaks, kind of like 4chan, but occasionally there is a needle in a haystack. This post lays out one thing that makes complete sense, that being a Superman game. I think most of us can agree only Superman can really top Batman as a superhero protagonist in a video game, at least in the DC universe. Rocksteady creating a Superman game in the spirit of Arkham Knight makes complete sense, and based on the trend of video games nowadays, I'm sure Warner Brothers, who owns Rocksteady, wants an open world of Metropolis for what considerably is the most known superhero. Additionally, we do have some other interesting updates that have come about this year. First, going to May of 2017, the Injustice 2 Twitter account uploaded an image that caught many eyes, and that was Rocksteady sending a Superman cake in celebration and congratulation for Injustice 2 launching. This could mean nothing, but with all the speculation already in the air, this certainly fueled a fire, and could have been Rocksteady teasing fans for what's to come next from them. But finally, our last update comes from Gaz Deves, head of marketing at Rocksteady, who wrote on Twitter in late September, quote unquote, "Be patient, fans. I know we're not talking right now, but when we do, people are going to lose their minds. Can't wait." Now, if you look at some of the in-game Easter eggs in Arkham Knight, there are quite a few teases at the potential for a Superman game, which Rocksteady may have done on purpose. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Lex Luthor actually has a brief cameo calling Bruce Wayne in the game.
"Mr. Wayne, Lex Luthor calling. Apologies for going via your direct line, but I grow tired of these games. LexCorp has made a very generous offer for Wayne Tech's Applied Sciences division, yet your persistent unavailability begins to look less like a busy schedule and more like deliberately antagonistic behavior. Come now, meet with me. I'm sure we can come to an agreement. A man of your refined taste doesn't need an Applied Sciences division after all. He needs another $1 billion."
And outside of just that, images and posters can be found for LexCorp and Metropolis. It's also said some of the thugs can be overheard having conversations talking about Metropolis and Superman. One of the conversations starting off with a thug saying, "I wish we could attack Metropolis next," and another thug responding, "If you think Batman is hard to kill, you don't want to go up against the other guy in a cape." It should be noted there are Easter eggs to other DC heroes like Wonder Woman and Cyborg, but the Superman Easter eggs are much more prominent and obvious, an act that Rocksteady could have done on purpose. In my mind, I have to believe this is a superhero game, and only Superman or say the Justice League could really blow people's minds. Warner Brothers, who does get the final say on everything, essentially seems to be all in on their established properties that they own, whether that's their Middle-earth games or their DC games. Unfortunately, I'm just not sure a brand new IP is something that Warner Brothers would let happen or really is just interested in right now. Either way, my gut feeling is that Rocksteady is making a Superman open world title. With upcoming events like the Video Game Awards and PlayStation Experience only weeks away, there could be a chance that Rocksteady's title does get announced during one of these events. And actually, maybe even more of a probable way for their next game to get announced is with a Game Informer cover, just like Middle-earth Shadow of War. I do think very soon Rocksteady's silence will come to an end, but the question is what will be revealed. I think it's an open world Superman title, but what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. Make sure to smack that like button if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value. Also consider subscribing for all the latest news on huge upcoming games, and I'll see you later.